friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Nancy from nancybadijo.com and welcome to another episode of Etsy Shop Critique. If this is your first time in my YouTube channel and you are an Etsy seller or a aspiring to be Etsy seller, this is the place to be. My channel is all about Etsy. I talk about Etsy SEO, branding, growing your social media, growing your online presence, how to run ads, resources and tools, tips and tricks, anything and everything Etsy related. So if these are topics that you are interested in, and you're also interested in growing your Etsy business, make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscriber button. Also, make sure that you like this video and leave a comment below. I do try to create a sense of community where we all come together and we leave comments for each other and help each other out. I do believe there's enough room for everyone to be successful on Etsy. So let's go ahead and share knowledge. Knowledge is power. So let's go ahead and get started. So today I'm doing a review on the shop called Dawn's Heaven Handmade. So thank you, Dawn. She's the owner for allowing me to do a review of your shop. I really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I do in all my reviews, the first thing I do is talk about product photography, because it is really, really crucial that your photo is clear, that the person understands exactly what they're buying from the first glance, that is compelling for them to want it to click on it. And even if they weren't looking for that particular item, if they were to stumble upon your listing, they're like, wow, I really like this, and click on it and buy, even though their intentions were not to buy your particular product, or they weren't looking for your particular product. And this is how a lot of people get sales from emotional buyers. There's a lot of people out there that buy just in impulse. So you want to make sure that you fit every need, but you do want to make sure that your photos are amazing. Now, I did a review on this actual listing here. Let me see it right here. This one right here. Now, the first thing I want to point out, Dawn, is that your photo, if you look at it, this is what the person views on Etsy, right? So when somebody's browsing, this is the first thing they see. So it is very confusing because at first glance, you can't tell it's a necklace. I only knew it was a necklace because I clicked on the picture and then I saw like the top of the necklace, and then on top of that I read the listing description. However, keep in mind, first impressions are everything. People online don't read nothing. It's all visual nowadays. People are visuals. They want to see the picture. So first I would say is you're cropping the necklace the incorrect way because no one really knows exactly what it is. Is it a stone? Is it a ring? Is it a necklace? It could be so many different things. Is it an earring? It could be so many different things. Is it a paperweight? I mean, who knows what it is, right? So you have to make sure that your photos are cropped complementary way. And keep in mind, Don, that a bad photo could prevent you from getting a sale no matter how amazing your product is. A bad photo. That's the first thing people see online. When you shop online, whether it be Etsy or Amazon or eBay or Shopify, all you have is photos, photos, photos. So they have to make a really good impression. That's the first thing someone is seeing. So therefore, they can't grab the item. They can't, touch the texture. They don't know how it feels, how it looks on them. They can't wear it. So all you have to go by is the photo. That's what's gonna sell the product. It doesn't matter the listing description at this point. It doesn't matter the pricing or the shipping. The photo is the first thing they see, and thereafter they click on it, and then they read everything else. So you have to make sure that in order to entice the potential buyer to click on the actual item, the photo has to be the best thing that they've seen. Also has to be complementary, cropped in a complementary way. I know that you included this here, but this is what they're actually seeing, and the photo is cut off. So you want to make sure that you are downloading the picture in a complementary way. And even here, even though it is a necklace, it's a little bit hard to understand what it is. So what I would do is, instead of taking a picture so close, I would take a picture of somebody wearing it, maybe not show their face, but like their neck down. Take a picture of them wearing it, and then make this one as your second or third image. Now, you did put a lot of pictures in here of different angles. That's great because people do want to see that. You put this one showcasing the back of the necklace, which is beautiful. Um, However, what I would do is the first photo, I would fix it to the point that you can actually see that someone is actually wearing it versus we don't know what exactly we're buying. So that's the first thing I would add. Good job of attempting to add a lot of different pictures. A lot of people, they stop at one photo or maybe two, and then after that they don't put anything else. So you're doing a good job in that sense that you're filling up all the photos. What I would do is that, because a lot of them are very repetitive and they kind of look the same, what I would do is I would add one call, like a image with a call to action saying, hey, like this store, or I like this item, and then have like a little arrow pointing to the heart right here and say like this item. And the reason why you want to tell customers what to do is called call to action. People don't know, like people don't even realize the little heart is there. Tell them like this the item. And the nice thing about that, as you could already notice, is that Etsy now sends that person a notification anytime you add new items to the shop, or anytime you're running a promotion, or periodically they'll send one reminding them of that particular item that they liked before. So that's a great way to drive potential buyers that maybe bought from you or didn't buy from you come back again. Now also add another call to action telling the person, hey, click below to read more about this item. The reason why you want to do that is because a lot of people are still new to Etsy. A lot of people don't understand that if they click on the actual photo, they will get this little section where they could read about the product. They could learn more about it. A lot of people don't know that, to be honest. So don't take it upon yourself to think that people know that. People don't. So make sure that you add a call to action saying, hey, click below to learn more about this item and to view listing description. This gives you a probable chance, right? It increases the likelihood of someone clicking on the photo, going to your store, reading the listing description, right? Assuming that you have everything and anything that the listing description should have, possibly closing out the sale. So even if it got you 2 extra sales a month just from putting that, it is worth it. So make sure that you add something of two around those wording. You could put one saying, you don't have to put two separate ones. You could just do one saying favor this item and make sure to click below to learn more about the item. And that's it. So that's the first thing I would do is one, rechange your photos. Make sure that when you take a photo, the background is not distracting. So the person's not looking at what is this here, this button, or what is this red thing up here. Make sure that the photo is free of distraction, clear, nice, crispy black background. If you look at the most prominent shops out there that make a lot of money in jewelry, they're very plain and simple, but in a way that the item is showcased really, really well, but they don't have a lot of distraction. And I feel like some of it can be a little bit distracting. Also, your photos are sized different sizes. Like this one is different from this one. You want to make sure that you take the time, and when you adding photos, all of them are the same size. It's not so much because it's going to affect you in SEO or the algorithm or anything like that, any factor like that. It's just a visual presentation. It just means that you took the time to size each photo correctly, so they could all have a cohesive look, so your shop could look very, very nice and curated. So that's the only reason why I say that. So other than that, that would be the main change I would do on your photos. um, but great job at attempting, and you've done a good job at putting additional photos, which a lot of people don't do. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is SEO. So, as you know, SEO, or also known as search engine optimization, is the way that Google and search engines like Xc or Google or Yahoo or Bing understand what your page is about. And you have to use keywords that are not oversaturated, in the sense that they're not too competitive, and that you could still be found organically. And if you were to pay advertising, you don't pay an arm and a leg, because now your cost per click is really, really high because there's so many people competing for the same keyword. So it's just doing a little bit of research. Every tool that I've mentioned is going to be below in this video. So I personally use XCrank. And I did want to show you something that I talk about a lot in my XC group. So for instance, when we go to see this particular listing, right, you got a SEO grade B, right? So a lot of people think, oh, I have an A or I have a B. I'm doing really good with my SEO. Not particular. So think about it this way. The grading system, I don't know if you know about this, Don, or not. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It looks like you do. The grading system is like a checklist. So basically, if you follow the structure, which means you have your keywords in your title, you have the keywords in your listing description. If you're using all 13 keywords, if you have the category, the attributions correct, if you have all 10 photos, you get like a check mark, right? So the more you put those check marks, if you have the multi-word tags or category duplicate, similar tags, etc., if you meet all those requirements, you're gonna get like a grade because you're following, like if someone tells you, you know, you got to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and you do all of them, you get an A. If you do A, B, C, D, E, but you didn't do F, then maybe you get a B because you missed one of those items. That's what you're doing. However, that doesn't mean that you're doing your SEO correctly. There's many factors for SEO. So for you to rank organically, there's different factors. No one really knows exactly all the factors. These are based on experience, based on what SEO has been throughout the years, but they constantly change SEO. And this is why you'll see sometimes XC changes their algorithm, and then also Google changes their algorithm. It's constantly changing. So those factors are always like changing a little bit. But the main factors always remain, which is finding good keywords that you can rank organically, not using keywords that are oversaturated or too broad. Those are always the same for the most part. Now, this is a prime example of a listing that has a good grade, right? You got a B, which is not bad, but all your keywords are wrong. And this is what I always talk about on my group, is because you're using keywords that, one, are oversaturated, which means too many people are using, and two, you're using keywords that are too broad that don't describe your item, or you're targeting too many people, like you're targeting anybody and everybody, and you're targeting people that are not interested in your product. This is another reason why a lot of people say, well, I get a lot of views and I get a lot of clicks, but I'm not making money. It's because they're showing the product to anybody because they're using a keyword like this one. Let's take an example. Oval shape. So they're using a keyword like that, which oval shape could be anything. It could be a ring. It could be, I don't know, it could be like a share, right? There's some shares that have oval shape. It could be a shirt that has an oval shape design. It could be a print that has an oval shape. I mean, it literally could be anything. So therefore, you're targeting all these people that are not interested in your product. If you were to take oval shape and go to Etsy.com and put it in the search engine, you're going to see how many people are using it. So oval shape comes up with 116,000 other people are using that. As you can see, oval shape, there's a ring here. There's I guess this is a stone. So there's a brochet for your shirt or something. There's a necklace. This cutter. You see, it's so broad. It's like you're not really targeting your target traffic. Like now you're targeting anybody that happens to put the word oval shape. So two things are going to happen. One, you're not targeting your right audience. Two, you're using a keyword that is too broad. So that doesn't help because people are not going to, if I was looking for a necklace, I would put necklace oval shape, but I wouldn't put the word oval shape by itself. And three, if you were to run an ad, you're going to waste money. And on top of that, your cost per bid is going to be really high because there's so many people competing for that same keyword. And four, if you decide to put the minimum click per cost per click. Sorry about that. You could do with that with Nixie. You could go ahead and set it up to 10 cents per click. That's how much you want to spend on every click. If you were to do that on this particular keyword, because it's so oversaturated, what's gonna happen is you could do that. You could pay 10 cents per click, but you're not gonna pop up in the first page of Xe. You're gonna be on the back page somewhere, on the 8th, 9th, 10th, who knows, even on the 25th page, and you're not never going to be seen. So you're going to be wasting money on ads that not really anyone is seeing. So that's why you don't want to use keywords, even if they're targeted keywords that are too oversaturated, because it's at the end of the day, it's not worth it. So what you have to do is you really have to go back and change your keywords. You have to go back on Xe rank. You could, Xe rank, you could use the free version, or you could pay for the pro if you want to. You got to go back and play with the keyword tools. You got to do the work. It's tedious, but you got to spend the necessary time. And what I would do is, I wouldn't type over. I just put oval shape in there. I meant to write this. So I wouldn't type just oval shape. I would just put like necklace, oval, right? So necklace, oval shape. And then just keep playing with that. Keep thinking of ways that people that want to search for your particular item, how they will search it in the search engine, whether it's Xe or Google, Yahoo, or any search engine. So you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to look for keywords and kind of go through the list. As you can see, you are in an oversaturated market. Jewelry is very oversaturated in Xe. I'm in a market that's oversaturated as well. So you have to do like a lot of research. This is where researching your market comes in place. You have to research your market before you create your Xe shop. You shouldn't do an Xe shop and then do the research, because then if you try to sell something that's oversaturated, that's going to take you a lot of money, a lot of spending, a lot of marketing, a lot of branding. Is it worth it for you to spend 80, 90 hours a week promoting it to make some type of revenue? Sometimes it's not worth it. So this is where the whole market search and looking for those keywords and making sure that if the item you want to sell, if it's jewelry, well, whatever market you're in, if it's oversight, if it's a market that's just starting, if it's a market that maybe is mature or just started, or is it growing, is it like not growing, you have to understand these things before you create a Xe shop. And this is for anyone out there also. As you can see, if you have a pendant that's oval shaped, this will be a good keyword right here. This one wouldn't be the one because this is Greek style. Maybe this one, but this is oval pearl and your necklace is not pearl, so I wouldn't choose that one. Don't just pick a keyword because there's low competition like this one and you say, oh, I could use that one. Don't do that, because then you're technically doing the same thing. Now you might increase your views and your impressions and drive more traffic, but these people are really not interested in what you're buying. They just happen to find you, click on it, and then spend your advertising, or they go to your store but never buy from you. So yeah, you know how to come through here, kind of look through the keywords. If you find any medium competition, what I normally stick with is anything under 6,000, only because I feel like those do, for my shop, they do way better when I pick listings that have like that medium competition keyword that has over 9,000 listings. It's kind of hard to rank organically for it. So therefore, I always try to stick with 6,000 or less. That's what has worked for me. But you definitely have to go in here and you're gonna have to do the research and just do it, and get a notepad, or use your notepad in your computer and make a list of all the green ones, all the yellow ones, and then you will use all the green ones first and then the yellow ones as last resort, because the green ones are going to drive you more traffic. And then keep doing that, keep changing it up. I'm looking for different alternative ways to describe your necklace, but make sure that you're very precise at describing the necklace. Don't use broad terms. So once you do, and it's going to take you a while to do at least one listing, I will tackle one listing per day and really dedicate the time to research those keywords. Once you start doing this and you find the new keywords, what you want to do is that the main keyword, let's say you did find one that said oval necklace, with green and copper tone. Let's say that was a keyword and that was the main keyword that you found that actually describes your necklace. You will put the main keyword in the beginning of your title. Now, with the XT changes now and the new way that they're doing it is that they want short, like a short description. I'm still going to use all my keywords. But how they're doing it is based on using your main keyword that still, places a lot of hold on SEO factor. So putting your main keyword in the beginning and then writing like a short description of what you're selling. Nothing too long. For me personally, I'm going to keep it the way I have it because for me, it has been working okay that way. Um, I would just do it with the new changes if you prefer. Now, you also want to make sure that in your listing description, you add the keywords here as well. And you want to make sure that you have all 13 tags, which you did with this one. You just have to switch the keywords. You did put them in the right category, so you did a good job with that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is listing description. And the listing description, so basically think about it this way. SEO is how they found you. The photo is what made them click on the actual item and the listing description is going to sell them to buy your product. So the listing description has to be very precise of what you're selling. It has to be well written. It has to be detailed written, like the color, the size, the material that it's made with, shipping costs, exchange policy, anything and everything you could think of about that a customer might ask you. One, it helps with credibility. Two, it avoids unnecessary questions. People will still message you, don't get me wrong, because people don't read, so people will message you to ask you something. However, there are people out there that love to read things and take their time, and those are the people that most likely will buy from you. However, make sure that you're very precise on what you're selling because it also benefits you in the future. God forbid someone opens a case against your shop because they say this was never explained to me. If you have it in the listing description, Etsy will back your store up. If you don't have it in there, they might side with the customer. So just keep that in mind. It's a really good habit to have everything very, very detailed. That way there's no confusion at the end of the day. And if there is, it's from the buyer, not from you. Now, I do see that you have like a bulk of paragraph. I will break this down into sections. This doesn't do really good whether you're a blogger, whether you do social media, whether you do Etsy, you sell anywhere. You want to put like short sentences. You want to break it down. You want to make it seem easy to read, easy to navigate. They could just go to the section they want to go to. I'll give you an idea. I'm not saying you have to do it like mine. This is just an idea. This is one of my listings and I have it separated. I have description, so I have what they're buying, what's included, how to order, what you will receive, returns and refunds, and I even have a backlink to my main page. So therefore, they don't click on the back button and they stay in my actual site. The longer you make them stay in your Etsy store, the potential or the higher increase of them buying from you. So I will separate this into section right now. It's very bulky. So therefore, um, somebody might not take the time to read this. Plus, you want to make it user friendly by, cutting it down into sections and then putting headings in the sections. Keep in mind the first 160 characters is called the meta description. And the meta description is what people see on Google. So when somebody Googles your item, so this is what they see. And let me show you how it looks. That way you have an idea. So if somebody Googles your item on Google and they find you organically, this is what they see on Google. So you want to make sure that your keyword is on your title, it's on the first 160 keywords. So let's say this is the keyword, so you did a good job with that, right? But you want to make sure that your meta description, it doesn't hold any weight on SEO, but it does hold the weight in the person possibly clicking and visiting your shop. So you want to make sure that your listing description is very enticing. It has a little short description of what they're buying or what they're looking at, and that's it. That way, entice them enough to click and visit your shop. Right now, I would say change that because it will make a difference for your shop, especially for what you sell. And let's go back to your listing. So these are my suggestions for your listing description For the most part, I think you did a good job describing what they're buying and how it's made and so on. But you do need to make an effort to write down the shipping policy, return policy, put a backlink, tell them that you could be reached by message, blah 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 blah, customer service, put your name at the bottom. But you need to separate it and do headings and include everything and anything the customer might have a question about. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the curation of your shop. And the curation of your shop is basically the overall look of your shop. So right here should be this should be your logo. So you right now you have a picture, a beautiful picture, but this needs to be gone. You need to invest in making a logo. This picture here will be a picture of you. So what I would do if this is your store, I wouldn't include a picture of you. If this is your husband, or you and your husband, I would just include a picture of your face right here. That's it. Um, your tagline is good. I like your tagline. You have your where you live, so that's good. If you haven't started yet, I would recommend QuickBooks. I have a link below. If you use that link, you get 6 months, like 50% off. In QuickBooks, it's basically for your taxes. And it doesn't matter whether you sold one item or you sold 2,000, you should start QuickBooks because you could write all your expenses in there. So any money you make, any money you um, basically use to make a logo or to create a banner, you could put it in QuickBooks and claim it in your taxes. And it's really nice. You could add so many things. I have a video on that, but you could add, if you have an office at home or if you have an office somewhere that you rent, you could add that and your taxes go down. And you could add your any monthly fees, incurring fees that you have, anything you use for your business, like your phone. I use my phone a lot because I have a YouTube channel, I have Etsy group, I have, my blog, I have my Etsy stores. So I put my bill in there every month, every month. So I highly recommend doing it. Plus, you don't want to owe money, and with Etsy or any online business, you have to pay taxes quarterly. So therefore, you don't want to wait till the end of the year and have penalties. So make sure that you talk to a local CPA and then also sign up for QuickBooks as well. Um, Now your reviews are doing really well, so I kind of looked at them earlier, so I don't really think I need to kind of go over that because you're doing a really good job with that. I like the fact that you have all your links right here. That's really good. I will add pictures, maybe even add that picture of you and your husband. I think that's your husband, but add pictures here about you, maybe you working in your office or you creating the necklaces or anything else that you create. Um, I do like the fact that you took the time to write on this. I'm not great with grammar, so I'm not trying to like pinpoint anything. But what I did notice is that you have some grammar issues. So I will fix this. I also just uploaded a video about a software called Grammarly that anytime you write anything on Etsy, whether it's your listing description or your about me, it fixes it for you. It proofreads over 250 grammar issues, plus it proofreads whatever you write. So it's really, really nice feature. Really nice tool to have, but I do see a lot of grammar issues. So I would definitely work on fixing that. There's people out there that are very particular with that. I mean, I gotten people that email me on my Etsy shop and told me, "Did you know you misspelled this?" So there are people out there do read, and I think it could affect your sales. Honestly, no one's ever told me, I didn't buy from you because you had a grammar issue, but I've gotten told, like, "Oh, this is misspelled wrong," and they tell you. So make sure that you work on that. Um, your shipping policies or your shop policies, I will update them a little bit more, add more information, because you just put 1 to 2 business here, but business days, but you don't have a lot of information. So I would definitely work on that because the more you think about it this way, Don, you have to treat your business, your Etsy business, as a real business, even though the startup of Etsy is not that expensive and you're not investing a lot besides, what you make, but you're not investing like hundreds of thousands to open it. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's still a business. You have to treat it as a business. If you look at the most prominent shops out there, they have beautiful banners. Their banners have, a showcasing their products. It has their social media links, it has their hours of operation, it has their website. So I would definitely work on getting a new banner. I have a link below of a place you could go buy a banner. Definitely recommend it. Now let's go ahead and look at your social media platforms real quick. So your bio right here, you need to answer the three W's: who you are, what you do, and why they should follow you or why they should buy from you. So you definitely, I have that in mind. So who I am, what I do, and then show me some love by following me. And then I have my link that has all these different links that they could go to and visit me and get to know me. You definitely have to work on that, on those three things, the three W's: who are you, what you do, and why they should buy from you or why they should follow you. Either one is fine, but make sure that you answer that. Um, Also, you have hi up here by itself. I will fix this a little bit more. It doesn't look like you took the time to do it. Um, when you post on any social media platform, two things you have to always do: write a compelling caption. Take the time to write a caption. Take the time to say, hey guys, here's a new item from my shop. This is a beautiful, heart necklace made out of blah, 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 blah. If you're interested, make sure to click the bio link to learn more about my product. Always write a really good caption. Take your time, think about what you're going to write, and then tell them what to do. Tell them click on the bio link. People don't know that they could actually go up here and click to shop. People don't know that, to be honest with you. So you want to make sure that you tell them what to do. This is why you're not getting engagement. Even here, you put this picture, you didn't put no caption, you didn't put no hashtags, you didn't put anything in there. You definitely have to work that anytime you put something, you take the time to write a good caption, write a call to action, use hashtags. You can also separate the hashtags. This is what I do for mine, just to kind of make it a little bit cleaner. I put little dots and then I put my hashtags on the bottom. And this helps to separate it. I would use emojis to kind of make it more fun, but always write a call to action. Make sure that is something that tells them what to do. I have it here: click bio link to shop. Do that all the time. Tell people what to do, but definitely work on doing that. You should always do that on every post. The longer the caption, the better, because it looks like you took the time to do it and describe your item. The curation is basically, making sure that all your photos have the same background color, that they're all cohesive. That if I look at this photo and I look at that one, I know they're coming from the same shop. And then also, once you get your logo, put it here. So you would change that. You don't want to have this logo here, have this one different here, and then go to Facebook and have a different one. You're not doing branding at all. So branding 101 is having the same logo all across, having the same banner all across, having the same name all across. That's branding. If you have different names, it makes people confused. They don't know who they're buying from. Like right here, your handle is different from your store name. So you definitely want to work on, making sure. Sometimes I know handle names are not available, and sometimes people just pick whatever and they didn't put that behind it. So I don't know your situation, what it was, but keep that in mind. Now Facebook is the same thing. I will put the logo here once you buy it. Once you have your new banner, I will put it up here. It's the same practice. Call to, caption, call to action. Um, making sure that you have your link, which you did that, so that's good. What I would do is use Bitly. I did a video on this, and Bitly basically shrinks this down, and it doesn't make it look like spammy. I make sure that in social media as well, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that don't post all the time about what they should buy from you. Make it more personal. I posted about my son, and then I posted about a gift that I got from another store that they gave me, these beautiful dog bandanas. So I post inspirational stuff. So don't I post other people's stuff, you see. So don't always post like buy because people get turned off by it. Make sure that you switch it up and do like postings from you, maybe you working, maybe of your family, maybe, but make it all related to your store, but just change it up a little bit. Now, with Pinterest, I absolutely love Pinterest. I recommend it on everyone. You definitely could grow and drive a lot of traffic from Pinterest. This is one of my this is my personal Pinterest, but I have like multiple Pinterest accounts for all my social media. And from this one here, I'm growing it right now. So I have another account that I grew to 373,000 monthly followers. And I'll give you an idea, for the month of July, I sent 1,946 clicks from Etsy, from Pinterest to Etsy. So it does work. I definitely recommend it. There's a program called Tailwind, and I have it below on the text box description. And Tailwind helps you pin automatically every day. And I do it for months. So I set it up for like a month's worth, and I just let it autopilot and it does everything for me. So I recommend using that. It's really worth it. I started doing that because I saw a store a couple months ago that only had 86 items, and they had over monthly views, monthly million views on Pinterest, and they sold over 23,000 in sales, and I couldn't believe it. And that's where I got the idea. That's what she was doing. So I started a case study, and I grew my Pinterest traffic by like 2,300 something percent. It's in one of those videos in a matter of 90 days. So it does work. I highly recommend watching my Pinterest video on how to grow it. So if I had to say, I would say Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook. You have to have it because a lot of people search for business on Facebook. But if I had to spend more time, I would say spend more time on Instagram and Pinterest. I also like Twitter, by the way. I have Twitter as well. Um, so Twitter is good as well. What I would do also is the photos, they have to be cropped the correct way. You put here, make sure that you write a caption and then tell them what to do. Click below to view, my item. Click below to shop. Make sure you do that. I like the fact that you're thanking people. A lot of people forget that. They get likes and they never thank no one. And in order for you to grow on social and for you to have a presence, you have to engage, because that's what social media is about. It's called social because you're being social, right? But a lot of people forget that. So good job on that. Just keep posting the same thing, logo, banner. It's so important to have that. Only because you have to treat this as a real business. These are my tips for today. I'm sorry, guys, that took a little bit longer in this video. These are my tips for today. Make sure that if you are listening to this video and you have any suggestions for Dawn, leave a comment below. Make sure that it's a thoughtful comment. We're not here to put anyone down or say anything. We're here to help each other out. So leave a comment below. Also, if you like her store and you saw some products that you would like to buy yourself, leave a comment and click on the link. I'm leaving her store link below, so you could click on it and go shop and like her items as well and show her some love. I hope that this tutorial or this Etsy shop critique was handy, that you guys learned something new from it. And once again, you guys have a wonderful night. Until the next one. Bye bye.